Hi, my name's Colin Miller and today we're going to be looking at Vision's Grademark facility. If you're not familiar with Vision already and you don't have it bookmarked, then type Vision into the search box and it's the top link. Alternately, you can go to https://vision.hw.ac.uk. That'll take you into the landing page. Now, I've already logged in. Just quickly to say that when you arrive you will need to use your username and password, but please make sure that you log in to here, the middle column, the login here text. If you log in elsewhere in the page, it will take you to somewhere that will not recognise your own particular usernames. Those are for admins and other system users. So please, when you log in for the first time, make sure you go into the login here in the middle column. You'll be asked to enter your username and password that you've been provided. If you've got any questions with that, please contact your school office or the IT department, depending on where you've received your details from. Now, the courses that you have access to, you will be either instructor, teaching assistant, grader, and you can, in this case, because we're going to follow through the instructions that have been made by Turker Bayrak, we're going to be able to use the design for construction. I am focusing on this video where and how you find the information that's presented in your PowerPoint, so I'm not going to go into the same level of detail as your PowerPoint that's been given to you from your school office, but please do refer to this video if you're just looking for further quick orientation as to where the items are on screen. Now, as a grader, as a non-student user, you see the control panel down the left-hand side. If for any reason you do not, it's probably because the show course menu item is collapsed. So please make sure that you recognise that small icon there doesn't really make itself known and it's quite easy to overlook. But if for any reason you do not see the control panel down the left hand side, then it's more than likely because that has collapsed. Similarly, you could see the control panel collapse and just expand it by selecting the chevrons to the left of control panel words there. What we are looking for is Grademark. It's actually part of Turnitin, so in the course tools menu we select the Turnitin assignments and that opens up into drop boxes. We've used dummy students for this one. Turker's put in information and made sure that there's some examples here. We're going to look at long and thin mode. And as a grader, as a marker, as an instructor, teaching assistant, any class other than the students and course build, you're able to see this particular window. This is a Dropbox, and the similarity report immediately pops out to you with its brightly coloured. We're not going to be going into too much detail about similarity and originality reports. We will cover that elsewhere, but to just make sure you're familiar with the system, the options are presented on the right hand side. You've got the matches, where did they come from, what's the sources and what's the percentage, and on the left hand side the actual document highlighted. There are two ways you can match these up. If you select, for example, this source, it will take you down in the document to the place where they have found the actual percentage match, or you can, if you find something on the page, you can select it and it will highlight the source there. So the similarity report is part and parcel with the Grademark system, and you see the similarity report up there, but you see that there's currently no grade for the paper. What you've been asked to look at is the Grademark system, and this is an on-screen marking facility. There are a couple of options to use that are very useful initially to get your very immediate feedback on screen. There is the quick mark system and there's the rubric system. There's also a space for generic comments as well that we'll look at, and they are all accessed via these items along the bottom. So here you see that there's also an option for voice comment, which we're not going to be going into, then the comments list and the rubric. So quick marks first. As you see, there are some random titles here for quick marks. If you want to browse the sets that you have, then you can change them by the bullet list icon here, and this gets us backwards and forwards into the various different setups. So I can use them, but you'll see that I have my own set of comments too. I'm able to access them by the edit mode for quick marks. I can add a new set, give it my own name, which I've done there. I can rename it after. I can also add in new and different quick marks. When I'm happy with the details there, I can save it, and that will then actually be available across all my courses. It's tied to my account, so I can access those quick marks wherever and whatever I'm marking via Vision. Happy with that. Close the system now, and you see that there's a new test there. The actual quick marks themselves are a drag and drop. So as a staff member, as a marker, as a grader, you're able to drag these onto the page. A student would log in on screen and see these, but when you save them as a print report, as a PDF, as you're asked to do later, they will appear at the bottom of the document in a list. So that information is animated when it's on screen. If you need to delete anything, you can just click that, or if you want to edit and add additional comments, and you can save them there. The other thing you can do with quick marks is you can select the quick mark. You can actually just have a new quick mark there. You can add a new quick mark and save that onto the page, and if you then want to add it into your file, into your own list, then you can save it as a new quick mark. You can ask the title there, and it'll ask you what set to save it in. So the other thing you can do, rather than using the quick marks, is you can also just add text comments. The selection here, top right, just under the score menu, and this is slightly different because it opens up the comment box, and the text will wrap if you go over screen, but you can add in very quick comments that way as well. But you don't have the same editing facilities, and you can't reuse them unless you cut and paste. So the quick marks facility and the standard text comments, the quick mark editing there, and that covers the commonly used quick mark facilities. The standard text comment across the page, this will be up to 5,000 characters, and you can add in the comments as you type in there. Excuse my poor typing just for demonstration there, but there's a voice comment facility that we're not going to be using, so please just bypass that for now. If you've got any questions, then you can ask us. Happy to have a look into that. The next, when you have added quick marks, if you find yourself come back, you can see you can actually get to them, and it'll highlight them on the page. It's useful if you've got a long document and you just want to quickly look at all the pages there to get back to where you were. And then the rubric system. You will be provided a rubric. You have to import that rubric into your account, and to get there, you click onto this manner, so attached to ALP students. There's one here, but if you need to add a new one, then this button here is import. You're not asked as a grader, as a marker, to create your own rubrics, so please get in touch with Turker if you need to actually go through and add anything new. Then they can have a discussion about that with you. But that's how you would import the supplied rubric. And similarly, if you need to export something and send it on for review, then you can do so via the export facility. When you're marking on the rubric, you are just selecting the comments there. You can see that the criteria appears in the bottom right of the window, and you can get a general idea there. Very generic feedback at this point, and they could also be used for quantitative as well. But that, at the moment, the standard demonstration here is. So your rubric's on the right hand side, and you can access that once again just by selecting the buttons, the icons on the bottom right. They're not immediately obvious, but you get used to browsing through them that way. When you're happy with the changes that you've made, you can click through in the top right. You can actually click through the individual student essay submissions there, and that saves you having to go back to the background page there and reselecting them. You can also then add scores, and the scores will feed back into Vision, so the students would actually be able to see them after the release date in Vision, but the students can also see their marks via a similar interface from the student's perspective, and we will cover that in a separate video if you're interested to see how the student view their marks in your submitted comments. So we've covered quick marks, we've looked at general comments, and we've looked at the rubric as well. If you have any questions at all, then please do get in touch. We're happy to go into more detail on any of these features and facilities. I hope that the video has been useful to you, and please also, as an ALP marker, as a grader, please look through the PowerPoint presentation that's been provided as well. There's a lot more detail in there than we've covered today, but I hope these few minutes have been useful just to orientate yourself around the system. Thank you very much.